Welcome back, everyone, to Talk 122. I am your Superintendent, Dr. Terrell Yarbrough, and this podcast is going to be all about HMS and the wonderful things that are going on, at Harlem Middle School. And with me is no stranger to the podcast, but can you just introduce yourself for those that did not see, the last time you were on the podcast? Tell them your name and your grade.
My name is Brilliance Tarver, and I am an 8th grader at Harlem Middle School.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you for coming back on and talking about HMS. And so, quickly, just, quick, easy question to kind of ease into it. Tell us what makes HMS like just the bomb to you, like you just love it.
Harlem Middle School is very unique in its own special way. Like, the community, the teachers, the students, the classes, anything here. Honestly, I've never seen it before. Maybe it was just the school I went to.
Okay.
But Harlem Middle School was a very big improvement from where I went to originally.
Okay.
So
you're loving it then. That's awesome. And so with you being in 8th grade and now you're going to transition to 9th, obviously you're going to have to leave, HMS, pretty soon. And so what advice would you give to our 5th graders who are going to be in 6th grade next year and going to the middle school? What advice would you give them, on starting middle school?
Do not stress. Stress is like the biggest thing that will ruin you.
Okay.
Personally, from my personal experience, I was very stressed out last year because of a lot of stuff that was going on, and it ruined me. Like my grades, friendships, everything went downhill. So definitely don't stress yourself, honestly.
Okay, so don't stress. Kids, don't stress. They got this, right? Just enjoy it and have fun. Kind of like how you opened it up is HMS is like almost like a family, environment to you. And so that being said, give us one or two things that make HMS like your place to be.
Well, Harlem Middle School, I try to do a lot of stuff that's very involved with the school. So that's definitely like one thing that makes it my place to be. And I guess I'd have to say my classes, because a lot of my teachers are very supportive and I adore all of them. I love all of them. Okay. And so I guess that's what makes it my place to be, because of like my teachers. They're they're very supportive and they encourage anything I do.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate you, getting involved, because you were a part of our, profile of a graduate committee, and so that went really well, and all those things. And so again, thank you, for agreeing to be on. Any last, thing you want to say to the audience or to kids about middle school HMS? You can brag, you can all those good things.
The creed is actually very fun to do. I do the creed every morning, or I try to do the creed every morning. Okay. The creed and the Pledge of Allegiance, like the morning announcements, I love doing them. I love doing them.
Oh, so now I'm going to put you on the spot. You know the creed by heart?
Please remain standing for Harlem Middle School. No, wait. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in the Harlem Middle School Creed. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the Harlem Middle School Creed. As members of the Harlem Middle School community, we will respect the rights of others, take responsibility for ourselves and our actions, build positive relationships, and be safe as we interact with others. Harlem Middle School is a better place because we are here today.
That was awesome. There you go. I love it. All right. Well, thanks again for being on, and I really appreciate it. Cool. Welcome back, everyone. All right, so this is the HMS is the best edition, and with me I have
Drew Colcalsure, or Mr. C, as a lot of the kids call me.
Okay, all right. And so, how long have you? First of all, thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
And, I always enjoy talking with you. I mean, your sense of humor, all those things. And so I'm kind of interested to see how this turns out. And so how long have you been in the district?
I have been in the district since 2018.
2018. And
Yes.
then at what locations?
I started at Windsor, and then I was over at Loves Park Elementary. Then we had those COVID years where I was remote teaching out at Olson Park. back to Loves Park, and now I'm at the middle school.
Okay.
I'm kind of like the Kevin Durant, just traded around, I suppose.
So you're the Kevin Durant. You get around,
Yeah.
a little bit of championships, and
Yeah,
then-
yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good. And so one of the things by you being at the middle school now, right, and this whole theme of HMS is the best. Tell us what makes HMS a special place.
I really think it's the relationships. The relationships with the students that you create, the relationships with like your peers, the other teachers, the staff members, the admin. Just feels like everybody really has each other's back.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So can you tell me from your perspective, obviously you being there and, being the Kevin Durant, of the district, how do you go about building relationships, especially in a new environment?
It's all about getting to know, just like KD, when you get to a new team, like figuring out who works well with who doesn't work so well with each other, how to ask for like the copies or where something is, who not to ask, and then kind of build it out from there a little bit.
All right. And obviously, a lot of people in the community know you and, being at different sites and things like that. But for you, what would you like to say to our fifth graders coming up, or even our current, students who, our 6th and 7th grade students are going to, be 8th graders and 7th graders next year? What advice do you give them?
Don't be scared. You're going to eventually figure out where your classroom is, your lockers. You just got to practice it. And try out for all the clubs you can, sports, get involved. The more involved you get, the more you're going to get back and the more relationships you'll build.
Perfect. And prepping for, that's great advice. Prepping for like the summer, because as you know, we went through a consolidation, plan this year, and there's going to be a lot of movement and things of that nature, and you're going to have students, obviously moving around, and it's helpful that our 5th graders were already going to go to the middle school anyway, those type of things. But for our kids who are moving to different buildings and different locations, what advice do you give them, for the summer, getting ready to go to a new location?
I think it's important to just kind of keep an open mind, open mind where you're at, where you're going. And like Brilliance, who was just on here, like, don't stress about the stuff. Oftentimes you stress about things that are never going to happen, and it makes things worse than it really is. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow the best you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got to put you on the spot, with this one, right?
Yeah.
So from what I remember years ago, like you were like on a, like a comedy, you had a comedy routine, right?
Yes.
So can you give us a clean joke,
Yes.
right? For the audience
Of
here,
course, yeah.
that you have used in one of your sets.
I often say like, it's great to always be wherever I'm at because my cat's not here, I often joke my cat is a lot like Garfield. Except instead of hating Mondays, he hates me. And instead of loving lasagna, he loves to poop on my rug.
Okay, I don't know if that cat would still be with me, but you're
He's
different.
figuring it out. He's figuring it out.
You're different. Well, thanks for being on
thank you.
and bragging a little bit on HMS. All right, everyone. HMS is the best. So with me, I don't think within HMS you need an introduction, but for our community who may watch this podcast episode, can you tell us your name and then obviously what you do at HMS?
Yeah. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Jason Ware. I am an assistant principal at Harlem Middle School. This particular year, I have the 8th grade students, the privilege to have the 8th grade students.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for that introduction. And obviously we're thankful to have you as well because you've been on quite a journey too. And so you wasn't just in Harlem. And so can you give the audience a little bit, just about your journey that you would like to share, the places you've been?
So originally, I moved from Memphis, Tennessee. My background was in business, but I moved to Rockford, Illinois to coach college football at Rockford University.
Okay.
And there, I had to make a decision to continue a career in business or education. And I fell in love with coaching and just being able to help students and help people. And so I decided to go the education route. And so leaving Rockford University, I had to make a tough decision to continue coaching college football or to go to become a teacher.
Okay.
And then my teaching journey started. I started as a substitute teacher. And they hired me as a full-time in-house sub, and then I kind of just moved on from there.
What school was that?
That was at Flynn Middle School.
Was that okay?
Yeah.
Right.
So, like I said, I moved up to coach college football, but then started getting into the coaching world of, education. And so some doors opened and some doors closed. I've been at the elementary level, the high school level, and now, middle school. So
Okay.
this is my second time back at the middle school level.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that bit of information of yourself. And so now being at HMS, right? So you had your journey. You ended up with us, thankfully. So from your perspective, what makes HMS the best?
For me, so like I said, I've been to different places, and I would just, from my experience, for me, HMS, the people you work with is very important. I know earlier you guys mentioned like Kevin Durant and stuff, but a good team can make or break whatever. Like when it comes to education, we're all, all schools are in the academic business,
Right.
but not everyone's in the people business. And so I feel like being at HMS, starting with our leadership,
Okay.
it's all about the personal connections. It's all about building capacity in other people. And I feel for me, being able to have that trust to get my job done and my responsibilities, builds capacity within me so I can do that with others.
All right. That just resonated with me that you shared that, because obviously I, and got the background information, as far as seeing you at your job. And so when you mentioned leadership, you have an awesome leader at the middle school and also mentor, and you have a phrase or a quote that he says right above your door in your office. Do you remember what that is? Can you say it off the top of your head?
Yeah. So the principal is Mr. Jerry Harris, and he says,
Shout out to Mr. Harris.
Everything is fixable. I know I mentioned earlier, Brilliance and Mr. C were talking about don't stress. Even as adults, we find ourselves in stressful moments, but we have to take a step back and pause and try to turn that Rubik's Cube and figure out how we can resolve this, because some issues, it's a molehill or is it a mountain?
Okay.
And so we have to take a step back, and just having a leader that is calm and just, gives us strategies to slow down and think about things. Not everything that comes to you is an emergency.
Right.
Their lack of planning is not an emergency on your part,
Right.
but we still have to try to do what's best and solve as many problems or put out as many fires as we can, or help students and teachers overcome their challenges in the moment.
Right. Because it takes a special person to be in the middle school, right? I mean, there's a lot of, obviously, the development of our students and the needs and things that they go through, as they grow.
Yes.
My daughter right now, she's turning 13 on Sunday, so I'm gonna have another teenager.
Oh, wow.
And so, just reliving that, because my son is 26, my oldest daughter is 27, and now my youngest daughter is gonna be 13, and reliving the teenage years is.
Hey, let me know how that goes, because I have an 11-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old, and we just started over with the newborn.
Awesome.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Well, again, congratulations on the newborn as well.
Yeah.
And so that's good. And so now, kind of getting into how you yourself, what you bring to the culture of HMS, and kind of help guide our students, and our staff through things. I was sent recently, the YouTube videos that you prepare and then you do for the students. And so if you can kind of talk a little bit of why you started doing that, and then we'll get into the principal P.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, a big reason is, why I feel like I'm even here is to invest in the lives of others. Because like I said, we are in the people business, and these are young minds, young hearts, and they have a journey ahead of them. And so what we can do as leaders is to prepare them the best we can to be successful. And so I try to, I always thought I had to be a professional athlete to make a difference in someone's life. Like my dad was a professional athlete. I lived that life. He can go anywhere. People would stop and listen. But I've learned, being in schools and as an administrator, it's about proximity and showing up and being consistent. So I was like, well, how can I use that to connect with students? So the videos came by. Instead of, looking for someone else to give them a message, well, how about they get a message from someone they know? And so I try to take things that I've learned through college football, through PD, through all kinds of things, and just give it to these kids, for free. Just because, every day you're sowing seeds in these kids' lives. You don't know what's going to grow. You don't know when it's going to grow. You just have to focus on that it's there. So it's an opportunity for me. One of our parts of our mission statement talks about, building, the helping students realize their unlimited potential, but also the character piece, building that strong character. So I just take it upon myself to give what I can. Like, I'm here to give to the students, here to inspire, encourage, and lead teachers, whether I get anything in return or not.
Yeah.
Like, it's deeper for me, because if you want to work on robots, go to Chrysler, right? If you want to invest in people, then you'd be in the education field.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for that. That's awesome. So now, getting into your character a little bit, let's see if you can do it on the spot here. So, Principal P, we're having a situation or a problem, with our kids not being nice to each other. What message would you give?
Hold on. Let me see if I can call him real quick. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, he's busy. Anyway. So, if my best impersonation of Principal P, if I would do that, because I'm not him, but he would be like, "Man, what are y'all doing? People, we don't come to school for this. What's going on? Y'all acting like ducks out here. This blue duck is mad at the yellow duck, and both of y'all got the same kind of feathers. Why are y'all quacking at each other over and over again as if y'all both aren't ducks? All we hear is quack, 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 quack all around school. What are y'all doing? People, we got to do better. This duck is just like this one. Why can't you guys figure this out?" And so many times we want to say this duck is the ugly duckling. Well, you ugly too, right? We need to learn to fly together, because that's what ducks do, right? In my day, we had the Mighty Ducks. Y'all need to go watch that movie. We learned to fly together, and we can go farther together. But all this quacking has to stop, people. Do you hear me? Do I need to shake my hair at you? Principal P doesn't play. And get to class, be on time, and stop all this quacking around here.
That's awesome. All right. So to the public who actually know Principal P, this is not Principal P, but he did a really good impersonation of Principal P. And that was an important message as well, right? To support each other. Obviously, we don't need to be, having the negativity, around the building and all those things. And let's just quit the quacking. I like that.
Right. I just want to say, what the duck? What the duck are you doing?
So on that note, is there anything else you would like to say, just to the community, obviously, if anyone at HMS sees this as well, again, what makes HMS a special place for you? Because you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere you want to go, right? But you're choosing to stay with us, which means a lot to us in our Harlem community, in our Harlem district. And so, again, what makes it special to you?
Like I said, for me, there's the connections, personal connections. When you have people that are willing to jump in the fire with you, to have your back, be supportive, because this work's not easy, and just the character traits that are displayed through those who are in power, and the leadership like that, that is very important for me. When you believe in the system, and like I said, for me having a sports background, coaches play for players. I mean, players play for coaches, and not just organizations, right? And so I just believe, I believe in the organization. I believe what we're doing. I believe in what we care about, where we're headed. And just, the biggest advice I would give families right now, too, is just sit down with your kids, talk with your kids at the tables, put the devices down, have these personal connections, because these kids are facing so many challenges today. And a simple hi and bye is not good enough, because our kids are just missing out on so many just things that they can share. And I just think that parent piece, we are in this together. It is not the school versus the parents or parents versus schools. We have to be together, because if we're not, our kids will never fly together, and our community will always just will be torn apart. There'll be a lot of dissension and just other things and despair, and I don't want to see that. We can, the word about team, together everyone accomplishes more or achieves more. I truly believe that. And so as a community, as a school community, we can do so much more together if we just learn to move past our differences, stop looking for each other's flaws, and just work together. We can accomplish so much more. And that's what we want to see for our students, parents. We all have history. We all have baggage. We all have a past. We all smell if we don't put deodorant on. So what can we do to move together and make this a better, not just learning experience, but a better community and a better future for all of our people.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being on, and thank you for bringing it all together and letting us know why HMS is the best. So Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone. That was our first podcast in a while since, obviously, we went through a little consolidation plan and things like that. And so I'm very happy that we're back and we're able to bring you stories such as this, that continues to, like Mr. Ware said, bring us together, share stories, about, our school community and why we feel that not only HMS is the best, but Harlem School District is the best district around. So with that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in again. I am your Superintendent Dr. Terrell Yarbrough. I am Harlem. You are Harlem. We are Harlem. Take care.